kind of working a 9 to 5. She's looking for a way to position herself into the marketplace, and she doesn't know where to start.
Handcrafting, what types of crafts specifically? Like, what are your main things that you make?
Makeup bags, toiletry bags, pencil cases, and she's from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Florida. Hey, Catherine. So the first thing that I would say, so these are custom bags. You have a visual brand. Are you on Instagram? Are you on Pinterest? And also, are you on Etsy? So because it's a niche custom brand, you are on Etsy. See, I'm on a roll. I know my stuff. People ask me all the time about physical products, and they say, well, do you do physical products too? Yes. Some of my first people I started branding on sold physical products. So you have your own website. Your stuff is available on Etsy, which will allow you to be seen by a bigger branded marketplace, and you're on Facebook. I want you to also be on Instagram and Pinterest. Etsy is like a niched, it's like an eBay, but it's more for custom objects and trinkets, clothes. I would say it's like an eBay, but I guess more niched. Or a hipster eBay. That would be the way to explain Etsy in a couple of words. Hipster eBay.
Sade, I want to pause real quick, and that what we just did, that's like your swag right there. You take stuff and like you merge it and you make it easy and hip and cool and just like really attention grabbing. And that's where Sade really brings value to businesses. And that's where she really just helps you stand out. When I first met Sade, I was like, hey, I'm the talented Mr. Salas and I can do this, this, and this, and this. And she was like, Frank, let's narrow it down. And you're now everyone's chief outsourcing officer. And I'm like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. And then I've been able to build a business with still the multi-talents, with the social media consulting, the outsourcing, the real estate, the digital nomad stuff, but still be the chief outsourcing officer, because that overall is how I, fuel my lifestyle through that brand right there. And that's where working with somebody like Sade is just so viable to you and your business. You got to have somebody like Sade in your corner.
Ooh, I am super pumped and excited. So I guess for people who may not know me, let me at least introduce myself. My name is Sade Adu. I am a personal brand strategist, a speaker, best-selling author, coach, and I've been founder of SadeYadu.com. And our goal is we primarily work with women entrepreneurs. We also work with men, but we market to our women entrepreneurs. And our goal is to help them build these profitable online brand empires. Hey, Dr. Finch. And I see Tequila's from Ohio. We got the Canary Islands. Hey, Jose. Catherine is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And our goal is really to get serious about building online empires. For me, looking at how the world is working and industries and markets are going, the new millionaires, the new money is coming from the internet. And we can no longer ignore that. Every single day, 100,000 people become millionaires, become 7-figure earners. They hit that additional zero. And I know that me and you can rise to those ranks with the power of good Wi-Fi from anywhere around the world in mobile devices, whether it's your Gizmo, your iPhone, iPad, or your computer. You can run a profitable business being you. That's what I love to do. Being your own personality, whether it's someone who's like Frank, who loves to jet set and hang out in the Philippines, or be in Austin, Texas, he's still running a profitable business, or it's someone like me who is a full-time entrepreneur and also a full-time doctoral student. When I'm not on the internet, I'm in the library. So it's important for me as someone who, if I was not making money as an entrepreneur, I would have to be a graduate assistant or a TA assistant making $1,500 a month. Yesterday, one webinar, we made more than $1,500 in one webinar. But I would be making that a month trying to be a student and trying to be someone who needs to pay bills. So for me, it allows me to feel confident that I can concentrate on getting a very difficult degree. PhDs, most people, 50% of people who start PhD programs quit. And we know most businesses fail. So doing two things that are equally difficult at the same time is mentally taxing, but understanding that I can run a profitable business and be a successful student is rewarding for me. And if you're a mom, if you are a parent, you have a spouse, you have things on you and you're still working your 9 to 5, you have a lot of things on you, but I want you to know that you can still run a business online. And if you do it the right way, you can start running your business on autopilot. I'm not fully on autopilot, but I want to get there eventually. But you can run a business and literally turn your website into an ATM where people go to it and they click on a button and it goes into your PayPal. And what me and Frank call the PayPal bling. Wanted to make some noise because it makes us all excited when we have new money coming in from people from around the world. Being an online preneur allows you to have a global business. Frank and I both have clients around the world. London, the UK, the Philippines, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, the Caribbean, Canada, Mexico. It is so phenomenal to me and amazing to see the growth that both of us have had in a short amount of time. Just talking on a phone to people from around the world. It's an online brand strategy company. So I teach entrepreneurs how to leverage live streaming and social media to market the thing that you do, you. So with your bags, I thought that was me. With your bags, I would say really become the go-to person for a specific bag. And a lot of people get very scared. They don't want to be known for one thing. For example, I love this photo of Starbucks. Branding is everything. Without the brand, it's $125. With the premium brand like Starbucks, $325 for the same coffee. Starbucks, when you think about Starbucks, you think about coffee. Do they have other things besides coffee? They have lattes, they have snacks, they have smoothies and teas, depending on where you go to Starbucks. If you go to Starbucks India, they sell more tea. Depending on where you are around the world will determine what Starbucks will have, but they are known for their coffee. If I am anywhere around the world, I know that if I see a Starbucks in Germany, I can get free Wi-Fi and I can get coffee. And let me tell you something, I don't even drink coffee. And I know that that's what Starbucks has to provide. And then when I go in there, I like the lemon pound cake. Don't judge me. That's what I go to Starbucks for. You know there's other things that are provided, but they lead you in the door with the coffee. Then they decide to expand to lattes and smoothies and shamrock things and pumpkin spice this and that. But the main thing is coffee. They built a brand on being a hipster coffee brand from Seattle. That's where Starbucks is. And if you want to know how to really brand yourself, Starbucks has Catherine, I encourage you to go on Instagram, follow Starbucks on Instagram. They have a phenomenal Instagram page. And one of the things that they do, they have a lot of user-generated content too. So they get photos of people who've purchased their coffee, who take really beautiful photos, and they post it on their page. So when you have people who purchase from you on Etsy or from your website, your makeup bags, your toiletry bags, your pencil cases, have those users send you the photo and you share that on your platform. So now you're sharing your platform with that audience. It's so phenomenal. I have a client who does bow tie accessories, and Instagram is her jam. And that's what she does when the prom season is really popular. She gets a lot of things. And when wedding season is popular, she will say, tag me in your photos so that I can share them on my Instagram page. And it gets her clients really excited to take great photos. And it gets her more business because now people are seeing that she does other things besides just make bow ties. So if you have a visual brand, that's just a golden nugget that I would love to give you guys, or what Frank will say, the major keys. He loves sending out keys. If your brand is very visual and you have a physical product, your goal is to take high quality photos, whether it is with a Samsung phone or an iPhone or a DSLR. Take high quality photos of your product and start creating a visual branding experience with Instagram. It is an experience. You are an artist, and I want you to look at that platform as such. So that's how I would answer that question. See, it depends on, I give specific brand strategy based on your business. I wouldn't give that to necessarily a coach. I would give that to somebody who has a physical product. If you have any other questions, please go through that. So I saw what the topic was. It wasn't just about branding. It was about charging more and increasing your rates. That's what people came here for. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey. If we talked about my business even 15 months or 12, a little bit over 12 months ago, Sade Wayadu was charging $80 for coaching, maybe $500 here and there. And then I came around this man named Frank, and Frank is like, what are you doing? You need help and support. And I'm like, I can't afford it, Frank. And literally, Frank talks about me, but he definitely has changed my business. And I don't think I've given him enough credit for pushing me to invest in getting help, getting VAs and getting support, because it helped me catapult my brand. And I would not be where I am today if Frank did not push me. If Frank did not encourage me to get that card out and pay him for his services, I would not be here today. So I truly attribute, he talks about what I've done, but I truly attribute a lot of the success that I've been able to have in the mindset shifts about money and how businesses should work to Frank. So shout out to the Perry husband for being super phenomenal. He's pushy. Yes. I've gotten that from, Frank, I'm a Perry pusher. I encourage people to get on Periscope, but he pushes you. And this is the thing. Sales is Frank's thing, but I'm learning more about it. I'm getting better at it. The thing is, you have to push your audience to make a decision. If you are on the sidelines and you know you have a gift that really can help people transform their lives, their businesses, their health, make them look good, you know that what you offer is the bomb.com. It is phenomenal. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to the person who is interested in your program, product, or service to make a decision, to push them to make a decision. I know when we think about sales, it's about feeling pushy, feeling like a used car salesman. That's what we equate sales to. But we have to shift our mindset. And that's actually number one of what I'm going to talk about. Shifting your mindset to say sales is sexy. Sales is service. Sales is, like Susie Carter of Motivating the Masses says, is a dignified conversation. It's a conversation between you and your audience member and a potential client to make a decision, because they've clearly come to you because they feel like you solve a problem for them. And it's up to you to stay at the top of their minds. We live in an information society. There's information all over the place. It's overwhelming how much information there is. You have the guts, the balls, the gall to package that genius. You deserve to be compensated for that. So going back into that, I remember when I was charging $80 and people were coming to me, they wanted to work with me. And I would even reject people and say, can you just go to that person? Because they've been in business for longer. They know how to help you better. And they're like, no, I want to work with you. And I'm like, why? I didn't feel confident about it. And it makes you feel less competent about what you do. But the first thing of charging more and having a premium brand that people will pay you for is the mindset. I speak to a lot of 6-figure and 7-figure earners. I've been mentored by them. And I said, well, how did you know you were going to be a millionaire? How did you know you were going to make 6 figures? And they all say the same thing. They made the decision to make it. The day that they made the decision to become a millionaire was when they started acting like they were a millionaire. You have to have that millionaire mindset. If that is something that you want, then you have to have that mentality and mindset. There are people who will never be millionaires. It's not because they couldn't be one. It's because they never had the mindset or the mentality to even dream that big. And in 2016, it's not that much money. Depends on how big your family is. So you got to have the mindset. And the second part of your mindset that needs to shift is you deserve to be compensated. You deserve to be compensated for your speaking. You deserve to be compensated for your consulting and your coaching, your digital products and your physical products. You deserve to be compensated. I had a call with a lady today, and she wants to be a speaker. And I said, well, how much do you charge for speaking? And it was this scary conversation. And I said, she told me about an event, and I said, well, are people, did they have a fee? Did they charge? Did you ask for a fee? And she said, no. I said, you can't get paid for anything you do if you don't even ask, if it's even an option. If you don't put the option on the table, guess what? You won't get paid. And they asked her, they said, we want to pay you. And she said, no, don't worry about it. I said, because if this was a 9-to-5, no one would work at a 9-to-5 for free. unless it was your own company. You cannot afford to have an expensive hobby because Chase, Visa, Bank of America, they send bills. The gas company, the internet company, the electric company sends bills in the mail every month that need to be paid. So you deserve to be compensated for your genius. So that's my little affirmation for you guys tonight. You can say that I deserve to be compensated for my genius. You have went to schools, you've invested in programs, you have credentials, you've been through life's trials and tribulations, and you've bounced back like a phoenix. You've come out of that fire, and now you are somebody who's phenomenal that people are looking for. You deserve to be compensated. That's half the battle. I know for Frank, that wasn't even an issue. Frank is like, oh, I'm going to be paid. But that's half the battle, especially when you're working with women entrepreneurs. If we can get them over that hurdle about compensation, it really makes a difference. I had a client last year who was crying on the phone, charging $300 to speak. She had been, and this is the thing, CNN wanted to share her story. She had been appointed by President Obama. She was on a national commission, appointed by the president, charging $300 to speak. I said, can we give you some permission today to add a zero, at least a zero to that right now? Can we add a zero? And we did that. And then within about 2 or 3 weeks, she calls me back and says, yeah, I'm flying around the country. They're flying me first class, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I feel good and I feel great. It was really a mindset shift and giving yourself permission to be compensated. We can't, you would not accept a $300 check every week or every 2 weeks from your job. Why would you accept that from your business? You put your heart, soul, time, money, and energy, blood, sweat, and tears into this. So you deserve to be compensated. Next, once you feel good about yourself, you feel confident, you really have to be an expert. If you want to charge more money, you got to be an expert. No more not knowing what you do. So that means investing in your business, investing in your growth, going to industry conferences, learning more about what you do so that you can be the master of your program, of your industry. You want to be a master. Absolutely. You have to be a master at what you do. So I am continuously, consistently learning, going to events, growing my business, working with other brand strategists. Hey, Eve, learning from people who can help me go to my next level, working with people who have multiple 6 and 7 figure businesses, because that's where I want to take my business. So I'm working with people who can get me to my next level. And it's so important that you continue to master your expertise. I forgot who the book is by, but it tells you need 10,000 hours in order to master something. And 10,000 hours, 40 hours a week is 5 years. But let me tell you something, you can expedite that process. Many of you are spending more than 8 hours a day on your business. So you want to be compensated for that, and you really want to display your expertise. And it's okay. Hey, Malcolm, if you are new, Malcolm Gladwell is the author. Is it called 10,000 Hours? Is that the name of the book?
I think it's called The Outliers, if I'm not mistaken.
The Outliers. Okay, so The Outliers, I know the premise of The Outliers. He's looking at successful people, and he's finding out exactly what they did to become successful. So the same premise. You follow successful people, even if you didn't read the book. Follow what successful people do and do it. Find successful people and work with them. Let's expedite this process. People ask me how was I able to grow a brand so quickly? It's because, listen, I cut the fat and I went exactly to who I need to go to. And I said, listen, you know something I don't know. How can I learn it? You know something, I will get on a bus, plane, boat, train, and find the people. Exactly. Visibility trumps ability. It's not about who is the most talented, because I know a lot of talented people that are not going anywhere. It's about who has the skill set to grind, who has a skill set to build a brand, who has a skill set to position themselves as an expert. Because I've spent a lot of time with internet marketers. And let me tell you something. They're not smarter than you. They don't know more than you know. They don't have anything special about them. Most of us are weird and awkward, and we're socially awkward. And all of us will admit that most of us are introverts. The fact of the matter is, the difference is they know how to position their quirks and kicks and turn it into a brand. They know how to get people excited about what they do, and they know how to be a master of social influence. So you have to be an expert. You're trying to get, you have to be an expert. So that's number one. You have to be an expert. You have to position yourself as an expert. And some of you may be saying, I'm new. How can I be an expert? You are a new expert. So your goal may be, there are spheres of influence. You can look it up on Google and it tells you what kind of expert you may be. Maybe you're a textbook expert. Maybe you are a kind of expert who is, you're a disruptor, you're an art author. It depends. There's different levels of expertise. You're an influencer, you're a celebrity. There's different levels, but you can Google that, spheres of influence, and see where you fall in and see what kind of expert you actually are. And if you're a new expert, it's okay. You have something new and fresh to add to the current way we do branding, to the current way we create makeup bags and cases. Maybe everyone has leather bags and you're going to create a canvas bag. You're adding a new spin to the same topic and making it your own. So your expertise. You want to position yourself. Number two is positioning yourself as a value-based brand. You gotta provide value to your audience. You have to, this is a server's community, a server's industry. You have to serve your audience. The reason why Frank is winning in this marketplace, because he figured it out. He outserves everyone else. I'm like, I need more energy like Frank to outserve. The way he serves his community is tremendous. That if Frank, and I've told this to him, I said, Frank, when you launch Talent Academy again, or what it's called, Talent School, when you launch Talent School again, I said, you could be one of those people who are positioning yourself to have a 6-figure launch in one day, or a 7-figure launch in a couple of weeks. The way you're positioning Talent School, I said, do you realize that? You're following after the Marie Forleos, the Kimra Lunas, the Ramits, the Richard Brunsons of the world, Richard Brunson and Bransons of the world. You're following their model and you're killing it for your audience. And I'm like, do you realize that? That you could literally, like, let's make the plan. I was ready. I was like, when I saw what he was doing, I said, let's make the plan to make this happen. Because you could literally do that in a short amount of time because of how you serve your audience. You have to provide value. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of crap out here. People are trying to see who's real and who's fake. Provide value to your audience. Be a server. If somebody has a question, try your best to answer it. If somebody needs a resource and you know how to find that resource, be that resource to them. Because that's another thing. What book is that? I'm thinking of all these different books. The Influence. What is it called? Goodness gracious. Cardini. I can't think of the name, but it's called The Persuasion of Influence or something to that effect. And that's one of the things you talk about. You got to over-deliver. And there's this, it's called the theory of recipe. When you over-deliver to people, they feel indebted to you, that they have to serve you. They have to compensate you in some way, shape, or form. So you want to create so much value that people are like, man, can I just give him or her my money? They've given me so much. They gave me 10% off of my next purchase. I got to get something. How many people got a free gift card? I have one right here. A free gift card or something, and you like, man, Target gave me this free gift card. I got to go back to Target and use it. They didn't have to do that. I have to use it. And I'm going to spend way more than is on this gift card. It's this theory of reciprocity. I know that somebody can Google the book. It's called Influence, or How to Influence People. And you can definitely use those principles. Or if you want to get the Cliff Notes are online too. The next thing, you want to create an experience for your audience. And I'm going to use Frank as a case. How to Influence and Win Friends. That's not the book. There's another, but that's Carnegie, I believe. There's not that book. There's another book. I'll find it. The guy's last name starts with a C. That Frank is phenomenal with doing an experience for his audience. He creates like Talent School, Talent Tribe. It's experience. Like yesterday, his LinkedIn hacking that he does, I'm just like, I was on there. We broke link last night. It is called Influence, How and Why People Agree to Things. And Robert Cialdini is the name of the author. So if you're someone who wants to increase your influence, get this book. Get the book or get the Cliff Notes. Listen, I'm about efficiency. I got a lot of stuff to read already. Robert Cialdini, The Psychology of Influence. And I believe he's a psychologist, and he talks about the science of influencing people. You are in influencer marketing. People make decisions based on how they feel and how things. And get following the influencers and companies add more value. A brand to work with it should be a Kim Kardashian brand, because we can't necessarily get her to do what we want to do. But if you give me a product and you pay me, Sade Wayadu will show it, we will display it, we will talk about it. It's called Influence, or The Psychology of Influence, and it's by Robert Cialdini. Yeah, Robert Cialdini is the author. And you can find that easily on Google or Audible. So value is what you want to provide, and providing an experience. Experience is, think of the brands. I like to talk in brands. Imagine Disney World. Or if you've never been to Disney World, imagine going into an Apple store. You see people. You see people in Apple with Apple shirts. And then there's this whole process. And they're using all these gizmos and gadgets to get you on a calendar and a schedule. And there's some people looking at computers. There's some people looking at iPads. There's some people looking at phones. It's an experience. Apple has created an experience that we decide to buy into. Disney has created an experience that we have bought into. It is an emotional feeling. What emotions do you want to evoke? People don't buy things because they're rational. They buy things because they're emotional. Buying is an emotional experience. If you can tap into people's hearts and feelings and emotions, you will get more people to buy. And Frank is a beast at doing that. I'm trying to learn how to do that better. But you want to create that brand experience that aligns with what you want people to do, how you want people to react to you, and how you want to make people feel. So think about some brands that you would admire those in the chat. Think about some of those brands, and we can sit here and kind of analyze how they make you feel. Even Starbucks, there's a feeling. There's like roasting things that are roasting and making noise, the smell of the place. It's an experience. Some people may hate actual coffee that is at Starbucks, but they will go because of the experience that Starbucks creates. This is super important. Experience, value, perception of your expertise, results. You actually have to produce results for people. If you want to charge more money, you got to have higher level results. You have to display those results for a brand touching. Absolutely. With content too, absolutely. There's content that'll make you go, ooh, ah. Think about cat videos. There's some crazy cat videos, and you're like, oh, that's a cute cat. Or, oh, that's a cute little baby doing a little silly dance. That's an emotional experience. It took maybe 5 minutes out of your day to watch that video, but you don't care because it created an experience of you feeling nostalgic inside. So what kind of experiences can you create for your audience? And results. What kind of results are you producing? Are you getting celebrity clients? Is there a specific income bracket that you are hitting every month? Are you producing results for yourself and for your clients? So 2 things. When you're first starting out, you may be your success story. And for product-based businesses, you want to have results from your clients. How did this new makeup bag that is like organic, they use organic cotton and it's a canvas bag, and I can get some things customized. You want to get testimonials from people, or maybe, somebody who's famous that aligns with your brand is rocking your bag on Instagram, or you get a photo of them with your bag. Okay. I got some examples. I like to use real world examples. I got 2, as a matter of fact, on the floor, of course. So a friend of mine, Carl Michelle, wrote this book. It's 365 Hip Hop. The results. Well, first of all, it's an Amazon bestseller, so he has this higher level of perceived value for this thick book. It's motivational quotes from hip hop every day. And let me tell you, every time I talk about this book, I sell the book. I need to be getting a cut. And what I want to say is, so one of the things that he's been doing, we've been talking about this, and one of the things he does is, because it's a hip hop book, guess what he does? Guess who he takes photos with, getting a photo with his book? People in the book. Commons, the Jay-Z's of the world, whoever he sees, the Redmans of the world. His Instagram is flooded of photos of him and celebrities. What does that do? That gives him a higher level perceived value, and it also makes people want to buy the book. And then it also makes the celebrities want to get the book because why? They're in it. So he is building a brand about finding the positive elements of hip hop and not just talking about sex, drugs, and violence. He wanted something that could be positively shared with teens and youth who love this culture. So what are the results? When you see him, his receipts are taking photos with celebrities. Like he pops up every week with a new celebrity. I'm like, where do you find all these people? But he knows where to go, and he takes those photos. That's another one. That's another one's influencer marketing. If you can get your physical product with somebody who's a celebrity to hold it, touch it, take a little selfie with it, you are boosting your brand. And also you can be boosting your street cred and how much money you charge too. Once you get celebrity endorsements, your stock increases. This is another one that goes into social proof. Social proof. You want to make sure that you are sharing the things that you do online. Absolutely. Absolutely. YouTube, there's huge YouTube communities, YouTube influencers. They have huge niche markets of YouTube influencers. If somebody doing product testing on it, you can definitely get them to do that. Absolutely. There are makeup channels. There are people who talk about makeup, doing a product review for this matte lipstick, and maybe I'm getting an endorsement or a free product from this particular brand. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a huge market. I was in a class, I'm taking a class about digital media. And one of the things we talked about were niche markets on YouTube yesterday, and how there are markets about just about everything. There are little kids that do videos about video games, and people love those. And those kids are making millions talking about video games. And then there's YouTube communities that talk about makeup and health and beauty, and they're making millions or even hundreds of thousands of dollars doing something that they absolutely love. So the key is to be open-minded. I told you the new millionaires are coming from social media. Be open-minded and look at what you provide and what you offer and see which social media platforms it works well for. And new money, hashtag new money. Social proof. What kind of results do you have? One of my followers is she has like a card business. So she said, well, can I send you a free card in the mail? And what is in the card? A photo of me and a nice little thing. So I haven't had a chance to share this on social media, but guess what? If you send something to somebody who is an influencer, social proof, and they share and say, oh my goodness, I got this lovely customized card from Elaine. You guys should go check out her business. She has an app where you can create custom cards for your clients, for people's birthdays, for people you want to impress. How many people are sending out physical mail? That's another bonus. I'm giving you brand bonuses. I haven't had a chance to shout her out for this, but think about how this stands out from everything else you get. Think about if you sent something like this to an influencer and it has their face in it and it's like a customized card. Think about what that will do for your business. So wowing your audience and producing results. So now I'm like, okay, if I need some custom cards, I know exactly who to get them from. Or maybe if you want to wow your clients for the holiday season, you'll just order a bunch of custom cards with their photo in it. So these are some things that'll make you stand out and give you a higher level of perceived value. That experience that you create of going above and beyond while everybody else is sending digital Christmas cards and holiday cards, and you pop out with something like this, your stock has already increased. People will try to pay you more. Have a great day, DJ. Social proof. So you got to get the receipts online. If people are saying you're great and awesome, you need to get the receipts saying that. Somebody with a lot of influence and power says that, you can leverage that to increase your rates. Results and social proof are super important, because if people are not talking about you, that means you're not making nothing happen. People have to want to talk about you. People have to want to be vocal about you on and offline, because your brand is not what you say, it's what people say when you're not in the room. And that's by Jeff Bezos, the CEO and founder of Amazon.com. People need to be talking about you. That's about building a brand. People need to talk about you. You got to get those reviews. Absolutely. 5-star reviews on Etsy. People have to talk about you, because the more people that are talking about you equals the more clients that can be excited about you. There are plenty of people who have not taken their businesses online because they run their businesses solely as referral-based businesses. Referrals are a great way to stay in business. If you want to expand it, definitely take it online. But if you got somebody saying, did you see what Frank did? Did you see what this person did? How can I get connected to them? It happens all the time. Somebody's like, oh, who did your hair like that? Who did your photos? Referral-based marketing is still powerful in 2016 in the age of the internet. But the way sometimes we do referrals now is social proof. Oh my goodness. And what I want you to do, let me see if I have one on my computer. Maybe I can screen share it or something. What you want to do is keep a file in a folder of all of the screenshots of people saying awesome things about you. If you want to have like a little Google Doc where you're taking screenshots of all the times people said on Twitter or on Facebook that you're awesome. That was a great webinar. That was a great program. Oh my goodness, did you see that interview? It was phenomenal. You want as many as possible. Even in these chats, if people are saying positive things about you, those are testimonials that you want to use to leverage for later. You want to leverage those things for later because they are social proof. Those are things that will get you more clients. You have to have testimonials. You have to have testimonials and different types. And, people are tired of like fake testimonials. People are tired of them. So if you can screenshot a Facebook post, you can screenshot something, you can screenshot a tweet. Nobody's going to dispute that. Nobody's thinking you're going into Photoshop and changing it. I have a great example. I like to use real world examples. Let me see if I can find it. My pal, Kathy Kidd, shared some testimonials with someone else that I know. Well, let me see if I can find it. And she talked about the results of becoming an Amazon bestseller. So she helps authors get published. And she posted a testimonial about someone. And it was like somebody else I know, but I can't. The internets are acting funny right now. They don't want me to show you things, but I'll show it to you soon. Let me see. It was so awesome that I was like, wow, like this is a powerful testimonial. And I know it got her more clients. It got her more engagement. It got her more people just from that. And it wasn't because of what she said. It was because of the results she produced for somebody else. If you can produce great results for other people, trust me, you can increase your let me see. Oh, let me see if I find it because I really want to show. I like when I show like real life examples, but I guess the internet is not going to let me be great today. Let me see if I can find it on the other person's page because I want you to see different businesses and get different ideas of how you can do it. One of the things I want to say is another bonus. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you see something is working in your industry, you do not have to reinvent the wheel and think of a new way to do the same old. We want you to have success. We want you to have those results that you desire, but it's going to require you to repeat some things that actually work. No more reinventing the wheel. If we're telling you testimonials do well, they work, get your testimonial game up. If we're telling you, being an expert and not being a jack of all trades, being known for one thing and doing it extremely well, like Starbucks coffee, will get your results. Let's do that. Creating brand experiences like Disney World and Apple. Just they've given you the game plan. The key for us is just to follow it and kind of copy and paste where it works for our business and our brand. Another way to just increase your prices, honestly, is to increase your prices. Let me just say the most obvious is to increase your rates. And one of the ways I think Amber Aziza gave me this idea was to after every 5 clients. So when I was ready to get rid of that $80 coaching model, and then I think it went to like $500, then it went to $2,000, then it went to $2,500, and now we're trying to slowly but surely get it to $3,000 for a 90-day coaching package. Once you get, your goal is you want to boost your confidence. So once you get somebody to say yes at $2,000 or $3,000, then you get a couple of people to say yes at that. Then it's time to improve and upgrade it to the next $500 or $1,000 price point until you get to a point where you're pretty on point with the industry marketing standards. Maybe one day you'll have a $1,000, $1 million coaching package, but you don't want to price yourself out of the industry, of the market. That's super important too. You want to be in alignment with what's going on. You don't want to be the lowest. You don't necessarily want to be the highest. You want to be in a point where you're comfortable and that you are producing the income and the results that you require in order to sustain your livelihood. And that's different for everyone. So that last bonus point is to gradually increase it based on the number of clients, or gradually increase it every couple of months. So when 2017 hits, there's a new price point. And then also when you get, this is another thing, I'm giving you another bonus. When your clients do something awesome that is huge, it's time for an increase in your price point. So when Frank says, Sade, you've helped me make 6 figures this year, I'm like, OMG, I need to increase my rates. When a client is, I have a client that's going to be a regular on the Dr. Oz show for season 8. She's been on the show several times, but like she's a contracted feature on Dr. Oz. So Dr. Oz is giving her a cut. I don't know how much it is. That's when you got to increase your rates. When you have people who are doing some phenomenal things in a short amount of time, that's another time when you know you need to increase your rates. And one of the things that you can measure your success is by the success of your clients. So now if you have people, for me, brand visibility is important. So having higher, being a credible source of authority. When my clients get featured, somebody who I gave some advice to was recently featured in, they're a pediatrician, and they were called to be featured in national magazine, Parents Magazine. How huge and major is that for a pediatrician to be featured in Parents Magazine? That's her niche market and field. That's major for her. Then there's people who've been featured in Huffington Post or Black Enterprise or these other platforms. I can say now, my clients have been featured in XYZ platforms. It helps me leverage my brand and also helps me shout them out. So those things are super important. You can leverage your clients' results and your own results to continuously increase your rates and build your brand. Any questions? I know I said a lot. I need some water.
Sade, you are on fire. You definitely need some water. You are on fire. We got some great comments. Colleen out in Austin, Texas says that we're amazing. It's all Sade. Sade just slam dunked it. This was great stuff, Sade. Eve says amazing. Tequila says fire. Karen says fire too.
To leave it open for some Q&A or whatever Frank has to go wants us to do is totally fine for me. If you want me to talk specifically about your brand, your business, give you some hacks that I have in mind, I'm happy to do that. And then listen to Frank. I mean, his growth hacks are just crazy.
So Sade, I want to, as we're getting some questions, and I really want to maybe help people get to that mindset, because you and I have both inspired people tonight with your awesome message and your experience. But a lot of people are like, man, you know, Sade speaks so well. You know, she's, you know, doing this. She's got connected. She's a, you know, she's an A-type personality, and she has a business and goes to, you know, get her master's degree or whatnot. You know, she's all over the place. You know, for somebody who's just getting started, who's maybe at a 9-to-5, who really doesn't like their life, who's not really truly happy, who wishes their life was something else, you know, they're telling themselves all these stories in their heads, like, I can't do this because of that. That might work for Frank, that might work for Sade, but for me, here's my roadblock. What would you say to that person?
12 months ago, I was charging, well, not necessarily 12 months ago, $80, okay? I go back to my $80 story. There is nothing special about me. I just took some time every single day I took imperfect action, okay? Nothing that I do is perfect. Let me be very clear about that. I tell people, this is not the perfect hair, the perfect eyebrows, none of that. I am not a person who's perfect or tries to be perfect. I just take a whole bunch of imperfect action. I can tell you some imperfect things that happened today, like my webinar that I got to do again, and I haven't sent out any emails. And it's almost, look how late it is, and I've not sent out emails. But guess what? I'm still do it. They're going to get it late tonight, and they're going to get one early in the morning. Imperfect action. You know, not fully automating when I need to automate, not sending my team stuff when they need to sit in, you know, delaying my launch of a program that I have, my branding academy. That thing was supposed to be launched like weeks ago. So it's about taking imperfect action and understanding that people want what you have to offer. Whether you are a new influencer, you're still an influencer, you're still an expert. Do something every day. And let me give you a bonus tip. If you want to expedite this process, write that down. If you want bonus tip, this one, I'm really going to start teaching my clients about doing this more, because bonus on fleek. If you want to expedite this process, and I think this is something that Frank is doing, and I really need to figure out how I want to make this happen, is to, I posted in my private Facebook group today, influencer marketing. You got to find the right person who's already hot, who already has 100,000 followers, who already has a 10, 20,000 mailing list. You got to find one person that's hot, that likes you, that believes in your business, that believes in your brand, to put you on. That's the fastest way to make it happen. That's just way, point period. Find one person who is killing it. I mean, it's one person that you think is completely out of your reach, and they don't need to be a celebrity. That's the great thing about influencer marketing. They don't have to be a celebrity. They just have to be a celebrity in your market. They need to be a celebrity in your field. There are people who are celebrities because they've been on TV, they know how to sing, or they've been reality stars. And there are just people who are celebrities in their industry. Find a top person, find a couple of top people, maybe have a top 10 list, and see who you resonate with the most and connect with them. I'll tell you what happened. I have somebody I wasn't even thinking about at the time. I like who I like. One person, I had my summit. I had a virtual branding summit. We had over 5,000 people, almost 5,600 people registered for this summit. And let me tell you something. Most of the people came from one person. 5,000 subscribers. Most of the people came from one person. This person has a community over 200,000 people, 100,000 people on her mailing list. I mean, she's killing it across the internet. She's not a household name, but guess what? She's a household name to her audience. And I was like, can you send an email out for me? And she did. And it broke my website. I was like, she literally by herself at least added 3,000 to 3,000, almost 4,000 people to my mailing list in one day, in the course of 24 to 48 hours, because of her influence. And from that one email, I got 2 speaking engagements. They are flying me out to California next month because of that one email. And I'm going to be flying to Philadelphia in 2017 because of that one email. One person shouted me out in her Facebook group that has 100,000 people, shouted me out on her mailing list that has all these people. One person can change your business. So if you can find that one person, now you're not trying to use people. We have a genuine, I provide value. We have a genuine connection. I mean, that's my girl. But literally one person, one retweet from somebody who's an influencer. My friend with the hip hop book, Chris Brown, saw one of the tweets and he retweeted it or something, or he liked it. He liked it on Instagram and he got 100 new followers just because Chris Brown liked something. When I tell you, that will transform your brand. That one right there is like a bonus tip game changer. And I've seen one person, he was not known 2 or 3 years ago, because he connected with the right people. He's on the verge of having a 7-figure business very soon.
Amazing tips. I think and I agree. And let's even break that down. Like right now, I'm having Sade help me serve the talent tribe, and my list isn't anywhere near 50, 100,000. My list is very modest, very humble, and she's helping me provide value. But further along, we're going to repurpose this and have this be something that grows our list as we promote it for whatever. She gets a copy, I get a copy, and this is just work that you put into your business now that can forever be evergreen, that you could just throw as little bonuses here, and there. So, don't be afraid if you have 1 million people or a few dozen people, because that's always going to be able to repurpose and get your message out there. Now, Sade, I want to switch gears a little bit, and I want to talk about the importance of really just investing in your brand, because I see a lot of people with, I'm an influencer, but I still have @Gmail or @Hotmail, or their maybe branding logos, like their graphics aren't okay. What's the deal with that?
This is the thing I will say. So there are some people, like there's Instagram models, there's Instagram famous people, or even reality stars that have a Gmail account. They'll say, contact me at blah, blah, blah @Gmail. Listen, they've been on TV. They've had millions of people watch them. They can do whatever they want. However, you, micro influencer, get your professional $5 a month email address. I'm calling this brand collateral. I need to do like a Periscope on it. You have to have that brand collateral. You gotta have that email account, a website or a landing page, but definitely get to a website. If you're a speaker, you need to have speaker materials. If you are a coach, you got to have coaching agreements and contracts. Like, these are the things that are the requirements of the industry that you decided to be in. If you want to be, hey, Marsha, if you want to be in this industry, you got to have the tools and the collateral that it takes to be successful and to charge more money. You don't have to have everything when you first start. Bootstrap it. I mean, when I was making $1,000 a month on Periscope, listen, we were bootstrapping everything. I had a Canva graphic and a PayPal link, and that's how we made it happen. And you keep reinvesting in your business until you can get to a point where you can get a team, you can get some people to help you out, you can maybe hire a graphic designer or have a freelancer on call, hire people to do things for you so you can operate in your highest level capacity and operating the things that make you the most money. And also the way to get to your income goals faster is to increase your rates.
Love that. Love that. So we have a question, says, this is from Tequila. She says, I'm going to be co-authored in a book that will be released next month. The topic is entrepreneurship. How can she capitalize that at this very moment?
Awesome. So you're in a book anthology. That's awesome. My coach has been encouraging me to do a book anthology. There will be some more information about that coming out. And this is the thing. You want to leverage the most out of being an author. One of the ways to build brand credibility is to become an author. And with the internet, it's easier than ever. Now than ever to be an author. So you want to leverage it. Is your book going to be in Barnes & Noble? Being able to say that you've been in Barnes & Noble is huge. Even if you only sold 5 books. This is what I'll say about books. You got to make a decision. Is the book to build your credibility? Is the book an opportunity for you to get more speaking engagements? Because now you got something to sell to make a little money. And if you do a lot of free speaking engagements, are you going to be selling your books at the end? That's another way. And then also, is it for visibility? You are creating a book to become an authority figure for visibility. Or if you're like, listen, I'm writing this book because I want to make a lot of money. Most authors sell under, I think, 100 books. Most books most books are sold, don't sell 100 books or 200, definitely less than 1,000. So most books that are created do not sell. So you got to go into it understanding that most books created don't sell. You got to be savvy enough to figure out, okay, how am I going to get these books sold? Are you doing a print on demand where if one person buys a book, they just get it? Are you going to be doing speaking engagements so that people get your book? Are you going to be doing a book tour, a virtual tour and a physical tour to get people excited about your book? Are you going to be contacting the local authors groups, book clubs, and saying, hey, I'm an author in entrepreneurship book. I would love to do a book reading at your book club. How many books would you like to buy in bulk? I'll give you a discount. Because with books, you got to get people that actually like to read. That's the reality of it. You have to get an audience, number one, that likes to read, and go to the book clubs. They have book festivals. They have book clubs. For services as co-author of this, and say you're going to read, you're going to do a complimentary reading because they buy 10 or 20 books. And now you sold 20 books and you're just showing up one time. And then you never know, they may want you to come back again. So being an author in 2016 requires you to be creative. For me, I have some books that are digital. My first best-selling book is a digital book. I am not printing it out. However, we're doing that next month to make more things happen, and also in a couple of collaborative books coming out. So when I do more speaking, I can just sell those books there. For me, they're just products and authority building. Being able to say author of 4 books is what I prefer. I can actually own the books. But there is a book that I will write that I wanted to like, if you've been following Lovey Ajayi, I'm Judging You book. It's a New York Times bestseller. There's like a budget if you want to do traditional publishing. When I get that book out, then I want the whole shebang. But until then, I understand that if I want to get a traditional publishing deal, I have to build my online brand. So when I go to the publisher and I say, hey, I got 20,000 followers, I got 50,000 people on my list, publish my book. Because they care about book sales. That's why you got to think about what you want to do. If you want to do self-publishing, which is the route that most people are doing, you keep most of the profits. But if you want the credibility, the air of being able to say you have a traditional published book, then you have to give them a reason to want to publish your book because they are looking for sales.
And that'll help with the higher perceived value. It's basically like you got drafted as opposed to being undrafted in a professional sport.
And there's ways around that too. I mean, just Amazon bestseller is a great start. You want to stand out from the crowd and say you're a New York Times bestseller. That is a whole higher level perceived. You can add another zero to your speaker fee being a New York Times bestselling author. So, and there are growth hacks to get that too. I mean, people do it all the time. You've probably seen it and I realized it was a hack. I'll save that for later. I'll save that bonus for how to become a New York Times bestseller. That's something that I'll save for later. That's
great, Sade. Sade, you are just a fountain of diamonds. So I don't do golden nuggets. I do diamonds out of here.
Diamonds!
Sade is just dropping diamonds out of here. Sade, how can people connect with you? How can people find more about your info, connect with your inner circle? Tell us where we can find you.
So there are some ways. I have a private Facebook group called The Greater Living Experience. You can find us at breakfastbranding.com because breakfast is the most important meal of your day, and so is your brand, breakfastbranding.com. I also have a phenomenal group coaching branding experience in 7 weeks, and it's called Brand Your Greatness Academy, and it's really a deep dive in teaching you how to make yourself hot in the internet. If you're somebody who wants to be more visible, you want to be somebody who's creating content that your audience actually likes and wants to read or watch, if you're somebody who wants to become that next online celebrity or online famous, that's what my academy is about. And it teaches you a strategic guide of how we were able to do this in less than 12 months. And even, I mean, the same things that I've had conversations with Frank about, my other friends. I mean, these are the things that people are doing to make themselves have a higher level perceived value so that they can charge more, so that they can get better opportunities, speaking engagements, be on television, be seen and be heard by other influencers. You know, now one of the things that's happening, I'm getting opportunities almost every single day in my industry doing how can we support this for me every single day. That's how you know you're becoming an influencer. When you get more people to ask you things, to do things for them, then that's how you know that you're having greater impact in the marketplace and you have a high perceived value.
I love it. Sade, you are amazing, guys. And Sade is, very transparent about her whole journey. A lot of people in this business will try to say, that they're this, and this. But Sade is the real deal. She was like, yo, a year ago, I was charging $80. I met up with the right people. I reached up, I leveled up, and I'm continuously learning. She's in a class right now, and she goes to school, guys. She's running a business full-time. She goes to school full-time. Sade's bad. Sade just got it going on. She's over here, and she's got her learning on top of that. She's building her business. Like Sade, I'm assuming your day was you worked on your business for at least 12 hours. You probably went to school for maybe another 4 to 6 or worked on another school stuff for about that time. You probably learned and developed yourself for about 90 minutes or so. And then after this, we did a webinar to help somebody else, your friends, serve your tribe. And then after this, you're going to write emails.
That was like yesterday. So I have classes. That's one of the things I try to make. You got to make sacrifices. So I have class twice a week. And I had class yesterday. Before class, I met with my team at like 5 a.m. And then I had client calls, consultations. I had like at least 3 of them. Then I ran the class. Then I was doing some of my webinar in the library. And I was running, if you saw it on Snapchat, home to get to the webinar on time. And then I was answering questions about joining my program all night till this morning. And then 4 o'clock in the morning, we won it again. So it is a race, but you have to put in time for both. And luckily, I have a little bit more flexibility with school now. And then yesterday when I was in class, all I could think about was business because it's a social media class. So I just like, I can do this. I can add that. I have to Interscope. Into the comments. But as long as I got Brago on. You went black. Uh-oh.
I'm on the coconut Wi-Fi.
Okay. Where's Frank? Yes, my name is so long. It's my middle name. That's my real middle name. It means I was born on a Thursday.
Awesome. Hey, Sade, thank you so much for being here. I'm on the Coconut Wi-Fi, and it's telling me that our time is up and that we've got to wrap things up. So thanks again. If you guys want to reach out to Sade, please make sure you do. Go to brandyourgreatness.co. And this is something that's really cool. Like, let me break down what's going on from the influencer side. So Sade is launching her flagship course that's going to be at a premium. And what she's doing right now is gaining interest to sell this program. And the benefit for the person who signs up for this course is they get to be there step by step as she crafts this course to be a masterpiece as one of her flagship courses to other people.
I like this.
Now, when this happens, you get the benefit as a new person to join her group because she's going to be there with you to help facilitate the information. When this happens, you can now give her feedback to make a more potent product that will penetrate the marketplace and really explode and just say, look, I'm here. This is the best branding course out there of all time. And now Sade can go do webinars like this with people of all different list sizes and slowly but surely build up her digital product stream. Now, the benefit that people get for signing up in and there is they get to work with her and they get the best price. Now, when she's promoting and it's completed, it's going to be a higher price tag. It comes with no one-on-one support. And she's just going to go out there and say, here's my product. All the information is there. And they get to pay a higher price point. So that's just a strategy of what happens with the business. That's how the business is done. That's proper form. And Sade is exemplifying that right now. So if you want to connect with Sade, I would strongly encourage you guys to do that because I work with Sade and my brand literally would not be here if it wasn't for her guidance and her expertise and just her wow factor. She's just going to get you noticed. So thanks again, Sade, for being out here. Really appreciate you helping me serve the tribe.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gents, have a phenomenal weekend, or what, I don't even know what day it is. Have a phenomenal evening. And I look forward to seeing some of you guys in Brand Your Greatness Academy.
Boom.